Hi guys, welcome back to Subto Shauna. This is the way, episode 40. We're getting up there. Woohoo! Today I have Travis DeRose on the show. Travis is a top tier TC community member and he recently got married. Congratulations!
Thank you, Shauna.
You're welcome. How old are you if you want to tell me? If not, we can skip it.
30.
30? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like 22 or something.
All right, I'll take that. I feel like I play older and younger. I get both.
Can you hear me good? Hear me better now?
That's good, yeah.
All right. So, you are brand new in top tier TC, right?
Brand new. Yep.
Wow. Tell us about that. How did you find top tier TC and what made you feel like it was a good choice for you?
Yeah. So I feel like I've been a few years of kind of hovering in the real estate stuff, wanting to get in. Found Subto and Pace maybe 8 months, maybe a year ago, and was kind of going through all of his YouTube stuff and almost signing up for Subto, but it just didn't feel quite right for me. So I just kind of held on it and, did some other stuff. But then I found the top tier TC community and that whole training program. And that's when it like finally clicked. And I was like, this is me. This is my strong suits. This is how I want to like get into this community. It's my on ramp into like the Subto world,
Gotcha. Okay. So you're more good with systems and processes and kind of like an integrator?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. That's just my natural stuff. I'm good at it. I enjoy it, which is weird because like even to me it seems boring, but when I'm doing it, I'm like, man, it's kind of fun. It's like fulfilling a little bit for me. So I enjoy it, and yeah, I'm just not the person to be, selling. I'm not on the phone all day. It just exhausts me. I can do a bit of it, but I just get worn out.
See, that's the thing about Subto, and that's the whole reason for Pace's community, because not everybody can do the same thing. So Pace's whole idea with the community in general, and top tier TC being another part of that, is do the thing that you're good at and then partner up with people that do the things that you just don't feel like are your cup of tea.
Mm-hmm. I
There's
feel like
many.
it's critical. Like there's so many training programs where they push their stuff onto you, whereas Pace and Subto, like they welcome you into the community and then you can find your place inside of it and partner with other people and do what you're good at inside of it. I think that's
Yes.
the key thing that separates Subto from other stuff.
Yes, exactly. And then there's also, the like-minded people and just everybody cares and everybody's like, there's such a positive vibe in there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It feels like it's such a, I don't know, cliche almost of like, yeah, we got such a great community and all this stuff. And, it feels like they're trying to sell you. But once you get in, it's like, dang, it's legit. Like it really is important. It really keeps you going. It's huge.
Right, exactly. Totally. So, how long have you been in the top tier TC community?
Signed up about 3 months ago. So still pretty fresh. Got through kind of all the marketing or the training materials and that kind of stuff. And now it's let's put this stuff into action now.
Nice. So did you have you done any deals yet, or are you just kind of getting off the ground with it?
No deals. I feel like we're getting close. Like it's gonna happen. I got a few that are like, inching up to the start line. But it's really just been like there's so much to learn. You go through all that, get a good basis, but I've just been spending a lot of time, networking, marketing, meeting other people in the community, and that's where all the, potential leads and growth and stuff is coming from.
That's where your business comes from. It's like, the relationships are the key.
Mm-hmm.
And were you in the Zoom that I hosted the other day for top tier TC?
I don't think I was. No, I've been going to so many Zooms. Honestly, it's hard to keep track, but I don't think so.
Right. So there was one on October 1st. So it's every other Tuesday. And it's about like getting your business off the ground or whatever.
Oh,
And,
okay.
they have like several different Zoom hosts. And that was the first one that I was hosting. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do here. Like, I have the Zoom description, but I didn't know what I was going to do, And
Mhm.
of course, by the time we got to the end, I'm a very outgoing person. Sometimes I wonder if I should even be in top tier TC, but because I'm way more visionary, right? But
Mhm.
by the end of the Zoom, I'm like, hey guys, put a one in the chat if this is what you want the next one to be about. And I'm like, running,
Right, heck yeah. It just works itself out, right?
right. I felt so at home there. It was like by the time it ended, I felt so good about it. But yeah.
Cool.
So check that out because we did identify some things too. I was having a lot of ideas. I was like taking notes while people were telling me what their biggest difficulties were or struggles were. So I was
Mm.
like, I just kept firing off. All these ideas kept firing off in my head, and I'm sitting here writing them down. I'm like, all right, we're gonna work on these, and next meeting we have, we're gonna have some answers for these.
Okay. Was there any trend or anything that you saw, overarching theme of the most challenges that people are having?
Yes, and it made a lot of sense because you have a lot of TCs have a lot of the integrators, and I'll tell you what, visionaries aren't going to go. They're not even going to go half as far as they will having an integrator to partner up with,
Mm.
because like Pace is a visionary himself, so he's great with coming up with the ideas. He's great with communicating, and he's great with connecting with people, but he's just so outgoing that everything's a big giant mess behind the scenes, and that's where Molly comes in. And so he originally, for all everybody that's watching that doesn't know, Molly is Pace's personal assistant, and she's the one that started and that Pace also helped start top tier TC community. So the TCs in this community, we can help realtors and real estate investors. But there was a need for this community when we found out that there weren't a lot of title companies or transaction coordinators who were very familiar or really good with handling investor type transactions that mainly involve creative financing.
Mhm.
So, okay, back to what we were talking about. What's been your biggest struggle since you entered real estate or since you entered top tier TC? Was it
Biggest
really hard to get
struggle.
through the
What's that?
training, or was the training pretty easy to follow?
The training was pretty okay for me. Like, I got through it, but I'm like, man, there's a lot of details in here that I know I do not have a good grasp on yet.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I kind of struggled a little bit and talked to some people in the community and came up with the kind of the game plan for myself that, like, okay, I have a good basis and like foundation set and understand the process and a lot of it. But as far as the details and everything, there's so much nuance and things that happen in every single deal and transaction that I'm going to overwhelm myself if I try to learn all that before I like get started. So now I'm at the point where I got a good base and I'm trying to get my first file, my first deal, and I've got a lineup of other TCs that are experienced and qualified that I can partner with to go through my first few deals with and really get, a better grasp on things.
Yeah, you have a lot of integrators who are more soft-spoken, more matter of fact, more detail oriented, really good with like, the systems and processes and putting everything together behind the scenes. So it makes sense that this would be their biggest struggle, but their biggest struggle is the marketing and the connecting with the right people to get deals and things like that.
Mhm.
See, you're brave. You were like, initially you were like, I don't want to come on the podcast and I don't have anything to talk about, which is what most integrators do, right?
Sure, yeah.
Most of them won't even turn on their camera in a Zoom that only has like 15 people in it.
Well, no, it's all good. Yeah, I
So,
feel that. Like, it's tough for me to get out and like do this. Like, it's a half hour before and I'm like, "Ooh, maybe I should text her and tell her that I'm feeling sick and just cancel this thing." You know what I mean? Like, I always want to back out, but then like I can get like it's not that much of a push for me to get into this stuff, but I'm in that middle level where I can do the extroverted stuff, but I need my time to, you know, work
Mentally
by
prepare.
myself, mentally prepare, and then just recover.
Mhm.
Like it's not energizing for me. It takes energy away for me to do this, but it's
Oh,
so
wow.
important, it's so critical that, and honestly, it's a skill too. Like I've noticed that I am getting better at it just by doing it for the past couple months already.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Practice
Mhm.
makes perfect. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Yeah, totally. And thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for taking that brave step
Well, yeah,
and
heck yeah,
being here.
it's
This is
fun, it's easy, it's
amazing.
good, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you should get your other podcast up and running again.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. The podcast is good. It's a good way to, like, flex the muscle and develop the skill, really.
Yeah, and you could even do like a podcast on top tier TC or even just maybe just like a YouTube channel where you give like do little short videos of different problems that you could encounter and how to handle them and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah, totally. I mean, I can do that stuff. I can force myself to do it, you
The
know?
good thing about that is not so much, I mean, not only are you helping people with a little problem here and there, but the bigger part of that is you're getting your face out there. You're getting known as the authority. You're getting, and you'll get a lot of business that way as well.
Mhm.
You know,
Sounds good to me then.
are you looking for people to JV with, like as far as top tier TCs go?
Totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like anybody, that's a big part of the connecting that I've been doing too, is like finding people to, an investor to do their file, but also a really good TCs, just kind of building up my Rolodex that doesn't exist. It's just only my phone. The Rolodex of top tier TCs, people that I feel comfortable, that I could partner with, and they're gonna teach me the right things.
So, yeah, some of the things that I was hearing in the Zoom were just that. I mean, kind of how to get started, how to get some traction, how to get deals, how to market.
Hmm.
So, where are we at the ninth? Okay. So, this Tuesday coming up, I think that will be the 15th. Yeah, the 15th.
Hmm.
And it's at 2 p.m. my time. So, that would be noon your time.
Okay.
Do
Oh, I'm
you
actually
have,
gonna be in
um,
Dollywood.
what was that?
I'm gonna be in Dollywood that week, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, it might be in the vault, in the TC Zoom vault
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So do you have like a W-2?
No, so I'm kinda I spent a few years before this developing billboards, which was like a whole process, a whole thing. And I ended up building and owning and now operating 2 billboards that are out in the Palm Springs area here in California. And they're great. Like they're pretty much, I'd say like 90% passive. I put maybe an hour or two a week of work, or an hour or two every week into them, and they're great. So that's kind of what got me into like, I need some of these cash flowing assets. It's awesome. And so that's kind of able to just, pay the bills that I don't really have to have a W-2 for myself. So I have time to do
Mhm.
other stuff. And I also kind of on the side do balloon twisting, do animals and hats and stuff like that. But that's
Oh,
more,
cool.
I did that when I was in high school, learned how to do that. So I've been doing that for, 14 years. It's just fun to get out of the office a little bit and do something like that.
Right. So you're like, yeah, I think I've seen them like at the mall and stuff like
Hmm.
years ago. Or
Yep.
are they like at carnivals or something or
I'll do mainly birthday parties, and I'll do events like school carnivals and things like that too.
nice. And that's just
Yeah.
like a fun little side hobby.
Yeah, it's fun. I used to do it at Downtown Disney here, at Disneyland. So it's
Okay.
just fun to do.
Yeah. So what does your wife do?
Right now she's a nanny. She used to be an Airbnb manager, which was helpful for us because she got us all the tips on that stuff. That company basically burnt her out because they weren't operated very well. So she quit that, and now she works
Mhm.
as a nanny part time, and then she's doing the top tier stuff. We're doing it together.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Hmm.
So you had the beginnings of a little team right there.
Yeah, totally. It's so nice, like
Mhm.
we're in the newlywed phase. We've been on our honeymoon and we're working together every day. It's great. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you have a chance, look up the different phases of a relationship because it's like, you know, the honeymoon phase is the funnest and the best part. But like
Hmm.
I was watching this video not too long ago and I was like, oh, okay. They were like, most people don't make it past the honeymoon phase. Like,
Yeah, we're prepping. We're like, we probably shouldn't spend this much time together all the time, but like we're enjoying it for now. We're
yeah,
like
do it
aware
now
of
before
that.
you start having kids.
Yeah,
And
totally.
the stronger your bond is that you're building right now, the easier it is when you have kids. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're
we've been
gonna have
together
kids.
for well, that's the plan. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
plan. Yeah.
I had to learn not to assume.
Right, yeah. Not everybody, but it's in the
Right.
cards for us, hopefully.
Nice. Okay. So speaking of Airbnbs, you have a horror themed Airbnb. That's our whole theme today.
Sure do,
And
yeah.
and
That's
then
right.
also like the thumbnail and everything. I was like, oh wow, Halloween's coming up. Of course, this will air in November, but Halloween's getting ready to come up here. We're in October filming this, and you had a horror themed Airbnb, and I was like, ooh, tell us about that.
Perfect, yeah. Spooky season, it's like the high time for us right now, like, we're really booked up, we jacked up our prices out there, it's great. But, yeah, so we did a horror-themed Airbnb, it's in Big Bear, California.
Wow.
It's just like it's a small cabin, 1 bedroom, 500 square feet, but we want to do an Airbnb, but we knew it had to be unique and make it really stand out, so it could be successful because it's gotten tough, just to get in the Airbnb game. So we kind of like I'm just a fan of film and like horror it's a genre that I love too. So um it was kind of like a dream come true to build a place like this,
Mhm.
and it was my whole family teamed up on it. So it was me, my dad, and my sister and my wife. And my sister's an interior designer, so she has a lot of that, skill set to help us pick the colors and furnishings and stuff. My dad's kind of like the handyman, typical dad on the weekends, wearing the belt and with the hammer and stuff. So he's got those skills. He taught us all that kind of stuff like electrical and plumbing and everything growing up. So we
Awesome.
went up, bought this kind of dilapidated cabin, went up there for 4 months, lived on site, and just renovated the whole thing ourselves. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so and it was
So
really
is it
fun. Like,
just like the decor is horror themed, or do you like have somebody sneak and go with their fingernails across the window in the middle of the night?
right, we're in between that, So, like a goal that I wanted was I didn't want it to just be like horror decor and props and
Mhm.
stuff like plastered everywhere on the walls. Like I wanted it to kind of be, the immersive experience type of thing where you get to go and there's a backstory to the cabin. Like the previous owner, she was our estranged Aunt Gladys. And she, one night the neighbors reported hearing weird sounds and flashing lights coming from the cabin. And when day broke the next day, she was gone. She just mysteriously disappeared. So when you come and stay
Oh.
at the cabin, she's left little clues. There's a little word puzzle to that. If you solve the word puzzle, it will give you a code that will open the lock to one of her locked cabinets that we haven't been able to open, but we think in there is the clue that will reveal what happened to her that fateful night.
Oh, so nobody's been able to open it yet?
No, that's just the storyline that we haven't been able to open it,
Oh.
but from what we've seen, it takes maybe about an hour or two, and most guests get it, but we'll have to send an extra little clue sometimes.
Do you have like when they open the door, these like snakes pop out? You know what I mean? Like the kind that you open a can and
Hmm.
then
So we like it. What was really tough is we wanted to do like jump scares and stuff like that, but
uh-huh.
being an Airbnb, we had to like reel back a lot of our ideas because they had to be like
Mm.
resettable. We couldn't have like stuff be out of place and then it wouldn't work for the next guest. So we had to get really creative in like what we could do for the effects and things like that. So like, for example, we have special effects that you can turn on, and when you turn the effects on, the lights in the cabin will just randomly like flicker and turn on and off. We have a TV, like a vintage TV, that will turn on and off by itself and just play like creepy static on the screen. And then I hid like a variety of speakers all around the house too that play different creepy
Oh,
sounds
do
and
you
stuff like
control
that.
them from your own home?
So we have the ability to turn them on and off, and so does the guest too. There's just a switch on the wall where they can summon the spirits or they can exorcise the demons. So like if you want to just go to sleep, and turn the stuff off, you can just turn it off. But everything is, I programmed it so it's all automated. So it just randomly every 15 to 5 minutes, one of the effects will go off in the house. So you could just kind of sit there and just let these things freak you out all night.
Wow. So I was one of those fun parents. My ex-husband and I, we were one of those fun parents. Like when the kids were little, he would go outside with the jingle bells. I'm like, oh, I hear Santa. You hear Santa?
Oh, heck yeah. Love it.
I was a young parent, so we just had we had as much fun as they did, probably more sometimes. But
You leave the little elf prints around the house and stuff.
yeah, yeah. But wow. So is that the only Airbnb that you have, or do you have other ones?
That's the only one we have. But the plan is to do more. Like it's been going really well. It's pretty successful. And it was just like I said, an absolute dream. And to make that thing, it was so fun to design it and come up with the story. And like we built a replica of the bathroom from The Shining in there, so you can stick your head through the door like Jack Torrance, and there's an axe in the door, and it was just, it's awesome. Like I would love to do more of those. So that's kind of the plan. That was kind of the push for me to get into top tier and Subto and learn this stuff, is that so that I can get more properties and do more of these things,
Yeah, different kinds of themes and stuff. Yeah.
Shauna, I have like a list of like over 100 theme ideas. It's like, yeah, it's crazy.
God.
I'll get obsessive and I get crazy on these things, but yeah, there's so much opportunity for different themes. It would be so fun.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, totally. So do you have like a website for that or anything like that where folks can like book it? Okay, so when this airs, we will have a link in the description that you can go on the site for Travis and you can book this this Airbnb themed. I'll have shorts out before this episode airs, so that I'll have that link right there in the description on the shorts as well. So
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'd love to see. Do you have pictures of it, or you just kind of wait until the? I mean, I guess you gotta have pictures of it, right?
Oh yeah, it's huge. Like on social media, we have our account on social media, and that's been a big driver of the success for us, is making posting the photos and the reels and that kind of stuff. Like we've had a few videos take off with a few million views, and it's like it correlates to more bookings. Like we'll see them come in when a video takes off. It's really cool.
So you do videos of it. Oh, and you have those on your social media, right? Which,
Totally.
well, we're not quite ready to end the episode yet, but we'll show this now anyway. So if you got, here's Travis's social media handles, and then this website right here is the one to hire you guys as TCs, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. If you go to my Instagram, Travis DeRose, I have a link on there to our horror, cabin Instagram, which is Unique Stays Club.
Yes. Okay. And we'll talk about these some more too. So, can you speak to the unique benefits of having like a themed Airbnb? We know Airbnbs are kind of suffering right now in general, the short-term ones that you just book for a weekend or something like that, because of the state, of the economy and inflation. People are having a hard time. Their salaries obviously aren't catching up with the rise in prices of everything. So not a lot of people are able to book, Airbnbs for vacations and stuff. So I would assume, I mean, we can assume one of the benefits of having a horror themed Airbnb is that it's unique, right? What other benefits are there for that?
Well, I mean, it's the uniqueness is what brings the benefits, really, is that like we launched in mid January, which is kind of on the tail end of the high season out there. So we launched the Airbnb and we're like, all right, let's let the bookings roll in. It's busy up there, and just crickets, like nothing, because there's so many cabins up there, so many Airbnbs. And we were brand new with no reviews. We're not super host or anything. So we're just getting nothing. We're not being shown on the Airbnb algorithm or anything. So things really turned around once we had a video go, semi-viral on Instagram. Then we started seeing bookings roll in.
Time out real quick. Did you start it as a horror themed Airbnb, or did you turn it into a horror themed Airbnb?
No, started as a horror Airbnb. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm so sorry. Continue. Okay.
No, yeah. So, without it being unique and having that unique stuff that we could post about on Instagram and kind of drive those views and clicks and stuff like that, it would be a tough launch. Like, I don't think we would be doing very well at all. Like, we'd just be on the bottom of the last page of Airbnb when people are looking. But because of that, we're able to kind of take the marketing like in our own hands, put it out on social media, and people see it that way. And then that in turn has boosted us up, where now we're, in the top 5% of homes, and we've got 50 5-star reviews and stuff like that. So now we're showing to both sides of it too.
Right. So how long has this Airbnb been on the Airbnb market?
So it has been about 8-9 months.
Oh, okay.
Almost 10 months. Yeah. So we haven't done a full year yet. I'm really curious to see, because like the busy, ski season is coming up. So I'm really curious to see how we do through this. But like going through what is the slow season up there, our occupancy has been in the 70 to 80%, where other places up around there are like the 20, 30, 40%. So it's definitely, the uniqueness is huge. I don't think we'd be making money without being horror themed,
So year round, people are liking the horror theme of the Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm hearing. It's not just around Halloween.
Oh, no. Like there's a huge, like devoted horror fan base group out there. Like there's horror conventions year round. Like these people are fanatical, and it's not just Halloween, it's year round. So yeah, we have people up there all the time.
Oh, wow. I feel like it's your age group. You said you were 30, right? Or something like that. So yeah. I have 2 millennial kids and a Gen Z kid. So my two millennials, actually the one that's around your age, 31, she loves those horror movies. And she's like, Mommy, you have to watch Insidious with me. I'm like, no, Mommy does not. Mommy is not watching that. Gen Xers, like, I'm a Gen Xer. Like, we lived through a horror show growing up, so we don't need to see anymore.
Right, yeah. Keep it to the happy stories for you guys. That's
right.
Cool. That's fine.
But we wanted to make sure that our kids did not have that same experience. So maybe that's why you guys like it so much. Who knows? It's just
yeah, I feel you. It's fun. Watching a good horror movie, it'll make you feel pretty bad afterwards, but there's something about it. It's just alluring. I keep going back to them,
I'll just ride the roller coasters when I want to thrill,
Right. Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of, that reminds me, some of these some of these parks are having like horror themed stuff around this time of year. Like I know, like Six Flags. I don't know if King's Dominion does that or yeah.
It's huge in like LA, Orange County. All of the parks do it. Universal and Knott's Berry Farm, even Disneyland does it for their. It's not as scary, but it's massive, and they sell out almost every night.
Wow. Yeah. So, okay. Do you want to tell us any of your other ideas, or you want to kind of keep them on the hush until you get them open, as far as your themed Airbnbs go?
No, I mean, I'm an open book. I think there's so much opportunity. Like, I don't think it's the idea that's gonna make you successful. It's kind of the
How you
execution of
actually,
it.
yeah.
Totally. Because you still have to operate it as a good Airbnb. You still have to have, it's got to be clean. It's got to, you got to have good amenities and everything like that. So, there's still some skill level to it. And, um, you know, the decorating and we have a lot of interactive elements and stuff like that. So I'm happy to share like how I kind of made all that stuff and everything with, anybody
Well,
who
you
wants
have
some help.
100 of them. What are just a few ideas of the themed Airbnb?
A lot of them are related to like movies for me, like because I
Oh,
just am such a fan, so it's the stuff that I like, like obviously like a Back to the Future one would be big. That's such a
ooh.
huge fan base. um Pee Wee Herman, I love Pee Wee. We just lost him, he's huge. And then even stuff that's simpler, like a candy themed place or something. You could do a lot in a theme like that, or like a coffee themed place. Like you could go on the extreme end, and have a lot of fun and do a lot of fun interactive things with themes like that, I think.
How about Indiana Jones?
Yeah, totally. That
Do
would
you
be
have that
so
idea,
cool.
or did I just give it to you?
I think you just gave it to me.
To make sure you have that, ancient Egypt stuff there and all that.
Mhm. Yeah, totally. Do like an Adobe
Yeah.
style home or something and work that all into it. Yeah, that would be
Uh-huh.
really fun. You could definitely do like an escape room, a little experience too, where you're
Choose
like
the grail.
yeah,
Choose the
exactly.
holy grail. Which one
Yeah.
is it? You pull the wrong one and the floor pops out. Now, not for real, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be there's so much you could do. It's so fun and exciting. I love it.
Yeah, man. Maybe I can partner up with you and help you out with that. Are you doing them all over the country, or like just in a specific area?
No, we'll do them anywhere. I think a key too is, you still have to analyze it. Like if it's a good location for a normal Airbnb that's just, decorated nicely and stuff, then I think you want to, it would be a good spot for a themed place. But if you analyze it and it's looking rough, like you wouldn't open a normal Airbnb there, I don't know. A themed Airbnb will definitely help, but I don't know how much of a help it's going to be.
Yeah, that all goes into the underwriting, right?
Yep,
Are
totally.
you good at the underwriting? Like,
I've gotten
the numbers and seeing if it's a good deal or not, or
Yeah, for short-term rental specifically, I've gotten pretty decent at it, yeah.
awesome. Did you know that there is also inside the top tier TC community, you can also get a certification for underwriting deals?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, you know how they have like the yellow thing that you can put on your Facebook profile picture or whatever to let
Mhm.
everybody know you're top tier TC? Well, the underwriting certification is blue.
Okay,
So
that's good.
yeah. So if
I
you're
kinda
good at
like blue
that,
better than yellow, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's not as much to go through as it is the top tier TC. I feel like it's a lot easier, but definitely inquire about that if that's something you're good at and you might like to do that.
Yeah.
You could get people can hire you just to underwrite certain deals and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah,
Sky's
no,
the
totally. That's a good avenue to look at. I'm gonna explore that.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, sure.
That's the one that you were telling me you kind of had like a podcast back during the pandemic or something.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like
well, I feel like everyone my age has a YouTube channel. Like, it's just fun, like, yeah, especially during COVID, yeah, like, during the pandemic, I just, you know, reached out to people, interviewed people, I love building stuff like the cabin, so I've always loved making stuff like little prop replicas, and um, I'll take like an old rotary phone and take the guts out and put new stuff like a new PC board in, so it'll play different audio when you pick it up, and I just love doing things like that. So I'll share that stuff on my
yeah.
YouTube channel.
You remind me a little bit of my son.
Yeah.
When my son's 27, he moved to Ohio. They just got married a year ago, actually. In October was a year ago. And he works for Google now. And he was like, he's my Gen Z kid, and he was a gamer. I was the cool mom. I would be like, Justin, dinner's going to be in 15 minutes. Get to a good stopping point. And my friends are like, just pull the plug. I'm like, no. They deserve respect too. He's doing a lot of work there.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he's rotting his brain. I'm like, no, let's unpack this. Okay. He's learning dexterity. He's learning hand-eye coordination. He's learning problem solving. I think this is a good thing. I'm going to let him, as long as it's balanced, he's good. I'm going to let him do that,
Wow. That's good. That's
so
very enlightened of you.
It paid off.
Yeah.
But when he was little, he was like you. He would be like, I'd go pick him up from his dad's once we split up. And he'd get in the car and he'd be like, Mom, I need a rubber band, a paper clip, and a baggie. And I'm like, ugh. Most kids ask for like hot box cars or something. Like, what are you doing, Justin? He's like, I'm going to do an experiment.
Heck yeah. Love it.
And then we got him that when the iPhones had that OtterBox like thing, that whenever the phone, you could drop it could go in water and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And he was doing all kinds of experiments with that. And I'm like, if you break that, I'm not getting you a new phone.
Yeah, that's a whole YouTube channel right there.
Right. So yeah. So you haven't really been doing much on the YouTube channel lately?
I mean, I'm still building stuff. Like I just, that's my happy place, to be like in my workshop building stuff or soldering or woodworking or anything like that. So, and I just like sharing that on social media and on YouTube because I connect with a lot of cool people who are doing similar stuff. Like I met people in my area and just like people from across the country, like weird. I kind of like the weird pop culture stuff. Like a guy made that I connected with. I kind of helped him out. We talked about it. He made a Taco Bell toilet kind of thing. Like there's just weird, fun stuff, Yes.
But you know what? You could do, and you can have more than one channel. I have like 4. I'm only doing something with 2 of them at the moment.
Right.
And the second one I just recently got off the ground. But so you could have like a YouTube channel just on your themed Airbnbs.
Yeah, well, we do. We have a Unique Stays Club, YouTube.
Oh, you do?
For it.
Okay, nice. So we will. Do you want to put the link to the description in that?
Yeah, let's do that for sure.
That awesome. So I won't have it on the banner, guys, but obviously because I didn't know about it. But yeah, we're definitely going to put a link to that YouTube channel here so you can check out all his themed Airbnbs, and there's lots more to come. Right? You got 100 ideas.
I mean, that's why we named it Unique Stays Club and not like the Horror Cabin, Instagram channel or something, so that we could do more of them,
Right. And for a little bit extra, you could probably pay Travis to come out and do some balloon animals. Right?
Yeah. Heck yeah, of course.
Kid's birthday party themed thing.
Whatever you need.
Right. Okay. So we got all the ways to get a hold of Travis. Travis, do you have anything else you'd like to tell our guests about?
No, I mean, it was fun just talking about this stuff. I love it. Looking to connect with TCs, people who need a TC. And if you have a short-term rental or are thinking about, opening one up and you're curious about the theming of it, reach out to me. Happy to just kind of bounce some ideas together and brainstorm something and come up with something unique and special.
And you're located out in California, right?
Yep. Southern California, LA.
But you could always do consults, right? Like on a Zoom or something like that, or you do deals all over. You don't have to be in that area to do deals in that area, right?
Totally.
Perfect. All right. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. It was a blast. You make it easy. You make it fun. Thank you, Shauna.
Good. I'm so glad. It was awesome having you on the show. Thank you. And hang back afterwards and we'll have a little chat before we part ways, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye, guys. We'll see you next time. I forgot to hit end record. Durr.